episode of Shift. Thank you for joining me today. I have a big question for you. Did you know that you are a magician? Yes. I'm your host, Palmonia Gordon. I have a background with over 23 years in the post office before I picked up my bag to go to work one morning and the thought of going postal made sense. I am now a single mom with 5 kids. I got married, had a couple kids, went through a divorce, remarried the same man, realized I had to divorce him again. So that puts me in running to maybe contact YNR, see if I'm entitled to something, maybe an episode. But I was recently did a workshop on mindset and the power of the mind. And then I heard a business partner of mine said, if many people don't realize that when you start a business, it's an act of faith. So if you're a business owner today, this is especially for you. You are a magician and you don't even know it. Because as he says, you are building something out of nothing. You have an idea and you have to take that idea and make it tangible and make it work and make it come to life. So, congrats for being a magician. For those of you who are having tremendous success, hats off to you. I pray and I hope and I believe that you are out there teaching those who cross your path that they too are capable of creating magic. And I know the biggest thing is belief. There's a book called The Magic of Believing. If you can believe anything, then it's possible. As Steve Harvey says, if you can see it in your eyes, if you can see it in your mind's eye, not your physical eye, he says, if you can see it in your mind, you can touch it with your hands. And that makes you one of the biggest and best magician anywhere around. So what is the business of choice that you have right now? What it is that you do? And I think I want to focus on that because I know for myself, being a business owner, I speak and I coach and I have a consulting business that I do. It can be challenging at times because when you're going out there and you're making the effort and it doesn't seem as if the rewards, the return are coming in as you anticipated, you may be tempted to let go of the vision or of the dream. But can I encourage you just to hold on? What I often like to remind people is that I'm smiling because every day when when I'm recording or something, I always see a white butterfly go by, and butterfly are an omen. That's one of my omen. That's my signs. I did a session on omen earlier, so you can check it out if you haven't seen it. Omens or a sign that you're on the right path or that things are going the right way. But I like to remind business owners that when we get into business, initially we're farmers. We get up and we till the soil and we plant the seed and we water it. And we have to watch it for months, for weeks, sometimes for years before the harvest really grows. And it's in that time that the belief in what it is that you're doing is so important, which if you checked my episode where I was asking questions to stir you, what motivates you, what gets you out of bed, it has to be something that 9 times out of 10, it needs to be a little bit more than the money. Yes, the money initially, because we all doing it because we have bills and we want to get ahead. But what else is there? What's the impact? What's the mark you are making? So you are a magician just by getting up and being consistent and going. And because you don't have a business, But if you work in an office, so you work, when I worked at the post office, I was a magician. I was a damn good magician at that too. Because I went in, I sorted the mail, and I took it and I delivered. And just that act of giving a piece of mail to someone that they were anticipating, that in itself is a magical act. I'm sorry, I think I need to wet my lips. That in itself is a magical act. So if you work in an office and someone needs a document and you type something and you give it to them, that's magic that you have created right then and there. So don't underestimate. To me, there are two set of people I believe are the biggest magician in my eyes, and that's based on how they've impacted me. One, caregivers, babysitters who take care of kids. Because just having that and having that peace of knowing your children are okay gives you that freedom to go off to create your magic. Because if you have to worry about that, your magic is kind of off. Second are, again, caregivers like PSWs and nurses and doctors, because I know for me that that is something that I would never do willingly. I was going to say choose wouldn't do, but I would not do it willingly because it's not something that I enjoy. I remember visiting my sister at the hospital maybe 20 odd years ago, and she said, I think I'm going to throw up. Can you pass me the bedpan? And I grabbed the bedpan with my purse with my left hand, grabbed the bedpan with my right hand, handed it to her, and walked right through the door. I just handed it to her and I just kept moving. And I got home, I called her, I go, did you throw up? I didn't even wait to see if it was going. I'm trying to think, did I call a nurse? I don't know. It's like, she's going to throw up. Okay, it's my cue to go. So I love people who are able to do nursing and, this sort of things. I appreciate you. That's your magic. Your magic is giving life and giving hope and giving to us a service that we can perform. So whatever it is that you do, if you're an accountant and you can keep the books and, that's your magic. So I want to applaud you for being a magician, for doing what it is that you do, doing it well, loving it. And I'm going to encourage you to keep shifting. Tiny moves. One of the things I would love for each of us to do, that you're listening to this and go, yeah, I'm a magician. Teach your magic to someone else. I know I kind of do tough things sometimes. So teach your magic to someone else. I was listening to a speaker at an event the other day, and she goes, my grandparents never taught us what they knew. So right now we have acres and acres of land that's sitting there that no one knows how to make money off, to profit off of it, because we were never taught. So it's one thing to be good at what you do, but are you passing that on to someone? Are you impacting, other than the people that you serve, are you impacting someone by sharing it with them? It may be one thing that you say that can shift them. I remember years ago, my goddaughter came to the house with her mom and her siblings, and in like 2 seconds, I go, okay, what's your name? And I had her spelling and saying her name. And her mother looked at me and she goes, I've been trying to do that for months. She was like almost in tears. So sometimes that's how you can shift someone. It may be the time, the day, the person is ready, or it just could be a different voice. Same thing someone else may say every day, but just the voice is different. The way they say, the way you explain it. So go out, be magical today. Continue to do 60 tiny shifts. 1 second does 60 tiny shifts before it becomes a minute. And then that minute becomes an hour. Keep shifting. I love you. Thank you for joining us. Like, subscribe, share the message, and see you again tomorrow.